Okay, hello. This is a demonstration on the Earth and the magnetic field and how it's produced. And if anything, it proves that in the center of the Earth, there's a void, a hollow void. Now, I've made a little simple representation of a solid core Earth right here. And we have just a little, it's just thrown together real quick and dirty and rough, but it demonstrates the example. If the Earth produces a magnetic field, the solid core has to be spinning faster than the Earth rotates. There's too much friction in here for this thing to turn 5 times. If the Earth, say this is day 1, if it turns 1 complete day, then this thing would have to turn about 5-6 times within the same time period in order enough to generate enough magnetism from a spinning core. Now, what they'll tell you is that the mantle has these updrafts and downdrafts that turn like gears that spin this center core. That is virtually impossible. It takes 1,000 years for this to make one revolution. This spinning core would not turn fast. Now let me demonstrate to you how in the center of the Earth, if the Earth was hollow. Sorry about that, I had to go get my button. But if the Earth was void, like the Bible says, when the Earth was without form, it had a void. And people say that's void of life. Yeah, it didn't have any life. But it also could mean that it had a void in the center. Just like when you blow a bubble, it has a hollow center. If you look at the astronauts in space, they play with water, and they spew out a bunch of water in it will form a sphere. It will wobble back and forth. And amazingly, if you look, now they don't make mention of this, but if you look at their videos, those blobs of water in space have air bubbles in it, and they all seem to migrate to the center, like a bubble, forming a center void. If you look at a geo, it has a hollow core. It's formed in nature, naturally. A bubble has a hollow core. A tornado has a hollow core. A hurricane has a hollow core. Things in nature, after planets are formed, after they get so big, they're peanut-shaped at first, they become a hollow core. Now let's get back to the magnetic field of the Earth. Something in the center has to be spinning faster and without friction than the Earth is turning. So I'm going to put, let's say we have a hollow core in the center of the Earth, and just like we have tidal forces, tidals on the outside of the Earth, if the sun was over here on this side, the gravitational pull pulls all the water on the surface to a high tide. By the same token, everything in the center is still affected by the sun's gravity and the moon's gravity. But uniquely, this hollow core has, obviously it's hot, it has pressure. I'm not saying it has life or aliens in there or civilizations. I'm not saying that. It's hot. It's hell. It's plasma. If they say it's as hot as the sun, I believe that. Because inside, in this hollow core, if you put this little button in there, and then you rotate this around one day, this little button's going to turn 4 or 5 times and spin in the middle. Now this spinning debris inside the middle is going to generate static electricity and a magnetic field, just like socks in your dryer. Now, when you dry your socks in the dryer, they come out, they stick to each other. And when they stick to each other, they did not get that electricity from the current in the wall. They got the electricity from friction on each other, and the static electricity made by that causes a magnetic field. As you see, as I keep turning this, that little button inside keeps turning faster and faster. And it doesn't stop. As long as the earth keeps turning, it keeps spinning and generates the magnetic field of the earth. If anything, this proves the earth is hollow and has a hollow core with great heat, great pressure. And as the heat expands, the earth expands. And that's the demonstration I have today.